Hey guys, good morning. It's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 16th, 2023, and my company observes this as a holiday, so I am off work today and had some time to dig in on the NBA cheat sheet. So in this video, we're going to go back over the NBA model plays for sports betting yesterday. We're going to look at some price picks plays from yesterday and see how they turned out. We're also going to look at this price picks tab, and we're going to see if you sort by these different columns, how these plays ended up doing and the final result. And then we're also going to look at some daily fantasy recap plays as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you do follow us on Twitter or you're in our Facebook group, you saw a lot of screenshots that I was posting this morning. I love to go back and look at the stats and plug in the results and see what worked, what didn't work. Did we have a good day? Did we have a bad day? Honestly, I don't even really play on prize picks. I might put an entry in once every 2 weeks. So when I post prize picks, that's for you guys to take advantage of. I posted a 4-card yesterday, 4 plays, and I had a lot of feedback. We hit all 4. We did squeak the J.K. Dobbins rush yard by a half yard, but I got a lot of feedback from everybody sending the screenshots where they put in $20 and they won 200 and hit the 4-legger. So that is fantastic. I was glad to see that. As always, you can follow us on Twitter. We have a free Facebook group. The link is in the description of this video. So if you message me and ask for it, I don't get notified all the time when I get YouTube messages. So go to the description, find the link, join the group. We also have a premium group where we post the sheets every day in the morning and we update them and have all kinds of good stuff in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with sports betting. We're going to look at price picks, and then we're going to flip over to some daily fantasy stuff. So, as always, if you're new to us, an NBA model pick on the cheat sheet is a difference of 7 points. You can see right here. It says, consider plays with a difference of plus or minus 7. That is a difference between our model, which is found right here, and you can see the difference right here compared to what the Vegas spread is. Now, typically I flip through all of these games, and I go through and I'm looking here to see if there's a difference of 7. And then those are the games that we kind of want to look into. I'm not saying it's a bet. I'm not saying it's a lock, but it's a game that we want to look at and consider making a bet. So yesterday, this is the 5-game late slate. I didn't have the afternoon sheet when I updated this, so we're just going to look at the 5 late games to give you an example of what to do. Here we see a difference of 12. That's greater than 7, so that's a game we would want to take a look at. Our model over here, we have Oklahoma City winning by 7. So we have them laying 7, but Vegas over here has them plus 5. That's how we get the difference of 12. And that game was right here. So Thunder won by 10, 112-102. So that's a win. So we're starting off pretty good so far. We're going to go down to the next game. Boom, we have another win. Lean over by 8. So Dallas has this at 222. Our model has it at 230.3 points. So a pretty good chunk over that amount. And that one also hit. Where did it go? Down here. So Mavericks, Trailblazers, 263 points, 140-23. So that one went way over. Some of the things that I did notice when I was looking back at this game, look right here. If you see the PR, this is a prior matchup. And look at this game. They just played and had 255 total points. And then come down here to these little asterisk arrows. It'll show you again. Then they played in the middle of December and put up 240 points. So that's a pretty good indicator the game's going to go over. If our model has it going over, they've played twice and skied over that number. That's a good over to take a look at. Also over here, Portland at home, they're a 10-6 overplay. So that's pretty good. Dallas 11-11 on the road, so 50-50, but that was a good over if you caught it. And flipping down, that would make us 2-0. Now we go to Denver. We have Denver by 11. Now that's a difference of 11. Our model has Denver by 21 points. Orlando hasn't been good really. Nothing to really see here. This was a loss. We ended up 3-1 on the day here. Nuggets won 119-116. So it doesn't look. They were plus 6, plus 11. So first half, they crushed it. And then they had a bad third quarter. Went up -9 and then -3. So they rolled it in the first half, led up in the second half for a backdoor cover. So this one was a loss. So that's 2-1. And then the Laker game, we had it 5-6. That's not 7, so I'm not going to waste time looking at that. Flip down here. And here's another one, Sacramento by 24. So that's a huge difference. So our model here, we have Sacramento winning 137 to 107 by 30. And then Vegas is only laying 6.5. So that's a game you want to take a look at. Now, one of the things, this has a heavy weight on the last 3 and last 7 games. You can see these last 3 games here, they played Houston, Orlando. So not really good teams, and they scored 139, 135, 136. And they won all these games by 20, 25 points. So that's putting a heavy weight driving this over. So I don't necessarily think they would win by 30, but I just want them to win by 7 or more and cover this spread. So that's how I would interpret it. And looking at this game, they won 132 to 119. So not too bad. They won by 13. They scored 132. We had them scoring 137. And then we had the Spurs at 107, and they scored 119. So they covered there, so that ended up 3-1. I posted a screenshot on that, and I think that was the last game. Yeah, that was the last game. But what I love about this sheet is looking at these game logs, and you can kind of see I stopped at 40, and I'm slowly adding some more in down here so they can fill in as we go because I update it daily. But you can see who they played, home, away. If a team has a big road stretch like here, win, losses. I have the points color-coded, I consider double-digit wins, double-digit losses. I just call them mini blowouts. So like 3 mini blowout wins are green, close games are blue, close losses are blue, close wins are gold. And, just kind of a little different. Red is the double-digit losses. And then I love totals. So I can scroll down here, look at the totals. I can see the dates. And one of the things I love to do is when I'm looking at sports betting and I find a play that I like, for example, Sacramento, you see them scoring, look at that, 4 games over 130 points. Okay, that's probably a game I want to look for some player props on and take some players because there's a lot of points, a lot of opportunity. And then back here, what was the one that we just saw? Portland, Dallas. Yeah, they just played 255 and they just played 240. I did a same game parlay, 2 of them last week on games similar to this where they had played, had a ton. I just went back and, gave myself some cushion and put in like 6 players from that game, and almost the identical thing happened. The guys that blew up again. And I mean, when you're doing same game parlays, I mean, you can get, plus 500 to plus 1,000 pretty easy when you get 6 guys put together. So anyways, that's one of the things to look at when you're sports betting. Now I want to flip over to Prize Picks because that seems to be the next most popular thing. So let me get it over here. The far left column, I'm going to move out of the screen. It's easy to use when I pull in the Prize Pick tabs. And what I typically do, so if you're new to the sheet or you haven't seen it over here, we have the last 10 game logs. And let me get you to show that. And the green is over, the red is under, and that's just so we can calculate like different hit rates. And a lot of people say, hit rate doesn't matter. I want to use raw projections, etc., etc. I hate raw projections, but I put them in there for everybody. Let me get this lined up. So this is yesterday. Let me go ahead and close it up. So what I did is I add this column here. So this is not what it looks like when you see it when I post the sheet. When I add this column, I put in the actual result of what the player did. And then I put a note here if it went over or under. So these are new. And then we have our cheat line, our gap, and then I've just got the results. So this is just the results of what the cheat line had over or under, or win or loss. And then over here, we've got the last 7 averages, and then we have the projections. And, I forgot to delete this. I'm just going to leave it in there and kind of show it to you. And then we've got our streaks, our hit rate last 5, hit rate last 10. Now, one of the first things I do is I come over here to the cheat line and I look at the gap and I sort it by high to low, because you can see some we have a big difference and then it goes down to nothing. And you look over here at the results, it's about 55%, the just black is a push. I didn't type that in. Let's see, 8 push, yeah. And you can see over here on the top plays, decent, not great. But I wanted to see if there's a big gap, if there's a difference. But if the cheat line is 2 points over or 5 points over, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of the same. It's leaning over. There's no difference in the number. And then I'm going to come over here by the last 7 average, and I want to say, okay, well, last 7 average, the players that are over, these are the ones that are averaging way over the last 7 games. I want to look at it. Well, 3 of the top 4 didn't hit, and then it went on a streak here and had a 8-1 streak, and you can kind of look at this and just kind of see how it did. get an idea. Over here on projections, so we're going to sort this by the gap, so see which ones were projected up or down. So the raw projections yesterday did pretty good. You can see here they had a great big streak. Typically, raw projections don't do as well, but they didn't do too bad yesterday. And then over here we have our confidence percentage, which I think I might switch over to a point system. I found something I like a little better. But when I sort by confidence percentage, look at this. We got a big run of plays up here. Now, one of the things we always talk about is hit rates. And I've been tracking, trying to see, well, what's better to look at? If I get home from work at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I've got 30 minutes till lock, what do I want to come in here and look at? So if you sort by streak, look at this. Whoop! I mean, just absolutely, oh my God. I don't even know how many that is, but look how many overs hit. Just sort of, well, I guess that's not accurate. So here, let's say over streaks, 4 or better, they all won. And then we got the 3 streaks. That's probably our cap right there, is 3 streaks or better. So all those plays hit, so that was pretty interesting, sorting by streaks. And then I want to look at hit rate over last 10. I'm going to sort that high to low. And you can see I really like the numbers on this. I mean, I don't know, what is this, 19 and 2? My eyes are killing me, I can't count that. But this large chunk did really well. And then they had 5 where they went under, which basically 4 of those were Thomas Bryant, so 1 player. And then we have a bunch of overs again. And then what's interesting on this that I posted a screenshot of in the chat, I didn't post it on Twitter and the Facebook group, but if we scroll down here to hit rate, on the bottom side, so let's say hit rates below 10%, and then we come over here, look at those. All of them went under except for 1 push. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 and 0 under push for plays under 10% hit rate. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then even if you go to the 20% hit rate over the last 10, so those are the plays that are really not hitting that much. And we look at those, look, that's a good chunk. A couple of them squeaked over, and I like to look and see how much over did it go. Well, Sabonis, I'm probably not going to do any unders on him because he's been on absolute fire recently. Keldon Johnson, I could have seen that one. But here you're looking at a pretty solid pool of plays that are likely to go under that you could take a look at. And you could go out and just target kind of the players that, you like or don't like and kind of go from there. So the hit rates have had a huge impact. And then if we look at hit rate last 5, up top, look, we had 5, how many is that? God, my eyes are killing me. 6 5-0 streaks or better, and they all won. So they went 6-0. Now, given Trey Jones was one of the plays, Westbrook, KCP was one. So again, when I say they went over, some of these, it's the same guy, just different props. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the sheet. But what I'm working on, and you can't see the details behind this, but kind of a point system that I was coming up with that mixes in the cheat line, the confidence percentage, the last 7 average, the raw projection, the hit rate, last 5, last 10, bonus points for streaks. And I kind of threw this in here just to kind of come up with like a cheat sheet point system. So if you come over here and you sort this by high to low, I wanted to look and see how it did and look at plays, try to find like the top 15. So here we would have went, let's say over 20. Look how many overs that hit. I mean, that ended up really good. That was better than sorting by the cheat line gap, the confidence percentage, the last 7, or the raw projections. That was a solid number there. But then I wanted to say, okay, let's look at smallest and see if we hit any unders. And we're looking, we'll probably do the same number of plays. So we can get below 0 here. Let's take a look at those. So then that gives us a good pool of unders. The unders didn't do as well, but we did get, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, and 6. So 19 and 6 with a push for the underplays on the lowest scores. So that's something I might implement this week. I'm still going to track it for a few days, but definitely the hit rate and hit streaks are one of the hottest plays that you can come in, sort it by streak, last 5, last 10, and then start digging through these guys and doing some game log research. Personally, I don't really use this tab a lot. I come over here to the prize pool tab, and then I'll flip through this, and I always post this in the chat, but for example, what I'm looking at are these game logs over the last 6, and I just look at this column right here. So when I see green, I know they're up. So for example, Franz Wagner, if I was going to play him, I would look at his points, his rebounds, assists. So we've got green, red, red. He's only points for me. I would look back at his last 5 to 7 games and see, okay, where's his points at? Now, what's his point prop total? Now, in the future, I may add another column here and put in price pick lines. So as the sheet updates, when the price pick lines come in, you can see them side by side. I messed with it a little bit, but I didn't like the way it looks, so I haven't done it yet, but it is something that I am looking at. So let's flip over, take a look at some daily fantasy stuff. I had this filtered out because I was taking another screenshot. So finally, daily fantasy. So we're going to come over here. We're going to take a look. Diamond plays did not do as well yesterday. I think only 1 out of the 3 hit, but let's take a look at them. So we had a 6X. Actually, let me make sure you can see this. I had this cut down. Okay. So a 6-4, they didn't do that well yesterday. But again, Nurkic, Poeltl, Bryant, they're not really big names that were popping. So we didn't have a good diamond day there. Looking at the boom percentage versus GPP algo, these are the two I've been tracking the most when you're looking to kind of build a pool. And we also have the new method of doing the 0.99 in 24 minutes, but that's in a different video. So I always look at the boom percentage and I say, okay, so we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and 1, 6 and 2, 6 and 3 with a couple just below. So not terrible, but then we had a couple guys slide in here that weren't very good. But again, these are low minute players. You know, he's averaging 21, 21. We usually kick those guys out. As you can see, 1.4, 1.8x, they usually don't hit. Had an 8x, Jokic. Kenrich missed. Again, he's averaging 21 minutes a game. And then we had a pretty good streak of some plays kind of here in the middle. So not terrible, but not as good as it has been. The GPP algo, since I revamped that about a month ago, it's been a lot better. So taking a look at this, we're going to go down here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. So the top 4 plays hit, and Harrison Barnes has been absolutely smashing lately. So if you sort by GPP algo, we had 4 hits. Then we had Schroeder missed. So 4 and 1, 5 and 1, 6 and 1, 7 and 1, 7 and 2, 8 and 2, 9 and 2, 10 and 2. So out of the top 12 plays, 10 of them hit value. Dennis Schroeder, however you say it, he missed. Kyrie missed. Everybody else hit value or went up. And then when we get down to the next section of plays, kind of just teetered just below that hit rate. And then we had a couple big plays. Couple just below, so not too bad. So basically what I'm doing is I'm looking at 10 of the top 12 hit value, so that was better than the boom percentage. So each day I look at the boom percentage versus GPP algo, and I kind of see which one did better, and I try to share it with everybody to let you guys take a look at it. But again, I just wanted to go ahead and share this, kind of show everybody the recap of what we're looking at, and hit on the sports betting, the prize picks, and the daily fantasy sports. So good luck, guys. We will keep this video under 18 minutes and 45 seconds.